The only reason he didn't go on a killing rampage is because he was outnumbered. But the Grinch clearly had some sort of super strength.
He could have done it. As easily as he got in and out of those houses, Whoville could be Noville in a night. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Potluck, where you get what you get. It has been quite some time, maybe a week or two, but we are back, and this week we are talking about world building here on the Potluck.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine.
Hello. Welcome back. It's been quite some time.
Hello, indeed. Hello, my friend. So,
just the two of us today.
it is just the two of us today.
JB's missing in action. Liga's resting up. Feel better, big dog. Hope you're feeling all right.
Yeah, but all is well. We are back. We got new stuff.
You got new stuff. You got a drinking horn.
We got a new thing.
It's a potluck relic from back in my Viking days.
Oh yeah, tell us more about that. Where'd you pillage?
Yeah, it's Viking classified. I'm sorry. I can only just say so much.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no.
Did you already say too much?
Yeah, really, the clan's going to be upset.
That's a very large hat, sir.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are talking about world building, and there is a reason for that. There's a reason we're peeling the curtain back, because the friends, we are going to be starting a D&D thing, and it got us thinking about world building. So, what do you think are the elements of building a good world? What do you think is the place you want to start if you're building a good world?
For me, I think it starts within the clothing and the food. I think you can learn a lot about a place by what the people eat there and what they wear. Like if you go to Star Wars, for example, when you start off meeting with Luke, you're on a desert planet, lots of gray colors, lots of stuff that will protect you from a sandstorm. And then you have the Jedi, whose whole thing is to not have worldly attachments. So most of their stuff is just very plain robes. And then you have the Sith. Everyone that's a Sith Lord always has some fancy garb or a flashy lightsaber. Like Dooku has a curved lightsaber hilt, which I always thought was badass. But, I'm it's curved, it's got a little pimp game to it.
Yeah?
Yeah. If you ever look at Count Dooku's lightsaber with it's got a curve on the handle.
No, I got that. I'm talking about the pimp cane thing. That's what you're thinking about.
If you go by count, I think you got a little bit of pimp too. You know what I mean? If you got counts in your name.
I suppose so. What about the food? You addressed the dress. I really didn't want to say that, but it's been said.
But with food, I think that you can tell a lot too, because it's something that I've always noticed. Brad Pitt eats in all of his movies. It's something that I don't know why. It's like how Tom Hanks pees in all his movies. Don't know why they have this thing where they always show that part of the realness of humans, but you always can learn about what a character eats if a character is and lives in a trailer and they have a can of beans, and then you see there's a whole stock thing of can of beans in there. In that world, that character doesn't really care about what he eats. He's just trying to get sustenance and keep going to the next thing type deal.
Yeah. Whew. Clothing is a good place to start, and that the clothing stems from something that I think is a building block that you definitely wouldn't want to begin with, and that
Excuse me. That's what I need to get out of there. Oof.
That is geography, because a lot of what characters will wear, eat, drink, blase blase, will come from where they're based, such as what is available to them, what is the climate like, what are common factors that they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and what does that mean for them, and how does that clash with other things that the characters will be exposed to along their journey, or how do these elements come together as a whole to create a living environment. Similar to if you look at it's something like Adventure Time. Look at the land of Ooo. Shit's weird.
Yeah.
And you can see that from just the jump. In every kingdom has their own ways just based on how shit is there.
Yeah.
Candy Kingdom got their own thing going on. Flame Kingdom got their own thing going on.
Ice Kingdom, the only thing I want.
Got their own thing going on.
That's very true.
And in their world, that the Ice Kingdom is an artificial biome, because Ice King is not their ice person. He's a simulation of the ice person, because the Crown's doing that.
I mean, if you want to talk about world building and like Adventure Time, they have some of the best world building on its surface and on the underneath world building with all of the Great War, the Great Mushroom War, all of the Ice King's backstory, the Marceline backstory. There's so much like undercurrent world building that goes on there, and it's phenomenal. Even like the stuff with Jake being an alien that shapeshifts and his true forms like a six-eyed blue thing with like all the arms and stuff. Like, it's a crazy world building in that show.
And when you do the heavy lifting in the world building, when you actually take the time to do that, it can make individual things that in isolation would not matter or should not matter. It's, for example, like in Naruto, you see a headband, right? You see a headband with a slash on it alone, that means literally nothing. But within the context of that world, knowing what that headband means and knowing what that signifies by crossing it out, all of a sudden that simple action, having a character do that, can say a lot in one motion, more than you could say in plenty of words.
Or just not wearing it at all, you know? Like when Naruto fought Sasuke and he's like, no, you put on this headband because we're equals. It's not even about, you know, that I can like scratch you or whatever. It's a sign of respect, and like it's just a mad disrespectful thing. It's like, nah, bro, I'm not wearing your headband at all. Or like even like I like to think of like the Suicide Squad, which each individual character's outfits kind of shows what they're all about. Where it's like the character,
for sure.
Like Rick Flag is, you know, always in his army garb or like something simple, and you got Harley who like has little care for like whether she gets hurt or not, so she's always in like thinly clothed stuff. She's not going to get armored up because like she doesn't really have that kind of care to her, and that's kind of the world that you can set when you have a limited run. And it's something that I think that comic books tend to. Lately, we've gotten more of the realistic comic book based off suits, but for the longest time, like there was this fear that putting on the spandex was going to take people out of the world.
And I understand the fear, but that is, I feel like creatively that's just, or I don't know, maybe creatively, maybe it's not a creative thing. It's a little cowardly.
I agree.
Because at the end of the day, your target audience are already into that, right? And there are a lot of cases where the reason people do not vibe with a particular IP is solely because of the medium, i.e., Last of Us. It's a very popular show. People love it. That game came out in 2013.
Wow. Yeah, and it took 10 years to get a show made out of it. Yeah. I remember playing it the first time. I was like, this make a great movie or a great show.
People were saying that since day one. That's one of the IP in video games that actually hits the trifecta in what you need. I believe you need to have adaptable material for really any genre aside from your birth IP. If you have good characters, a good world, or an interesting story, any 2 out of 3 should be able to do it. But if you have all 3, you could do anything with it.
Very, very true. And I think that when the thing with having all 3 though, it makes sticking the landing that much harder, because you're trying to stick the landing with all 3. And it's like with Game of Thrones, how like for a long time they had the trifecta, and then you have to stick the landing with the trifecta. And it's like, no matter how much budget you have, if your story doesn't hit the 3 parts that you've been hitting the whole time, people are going to be let down.
And that comes with the artistry of creating whatever each individual medium is good at. For example, when you do The Last of Us, a lot of the emotional beats come from things that you physically do as the player. For example, that beginning section when you're dealing with Joel's daughter, the fact that you play as her through the first section of the game, and then ice like that hurts, especially because you were involved with that as
Yeah,
the player.
man.
It may not, as someone that doesn't play video games, that doesn't make any sense to you. And if when you're adapting that, you have to show that relationship in a different way. You have to spend time with those characters in a different way. It will be more so like something like having the characters together, spending time together, having screen time. If you're talking about a book, you want to have more time with characters, spending time with those characters' perspective. Maybe spend a day with them, something like that. It varies from medium to medium.
One thing I think is interesting about as we get older and how nostalgia is becoming more profitable, the world building of recapturing an era. So like with Stranger Things, how they're like trying to recapture the 70s through the 90s type vibes, and it's something I think
Seeing Red, like the 2000s that they were trying to capture. That like when I heard they're talking about Tamagotchis and shit.
You talking about Turning Red?
What did I say? Seeing Red.
Seeing Red. I was like,
Yeah,
man, Seeing Red. I'm like, Seeing Red sound like that might be a good ass movie. I'm like, hold on, what's Seeing Red?
My bad. No, we saw Red. No, she was Turning Red. Yeah, like the 2000s vibe that they were trying to capture. That was like, man, I remember those times. I remember my sister and cousin having their little Tamagotchis and having a good old time there.
No, man, my Tamagotchi's dead as fuck, man, for sure. Somewhere in a box in the basement, man, water damage, dead as hell, drowned.
I have one. They wouldn't let me play there. They were like, no, you're too young. And I was like, fine.
For a digital dog,
Look,
that's just mad disrespectful.
Look,
like I understand a real dog,
I
but
wasn't
a digital one.
I wasn't even stressing on them. As long as they let me hop on Zombies Ate My Neighbors, I was cool.
Zombies ate my neighbors.
That was a fight.
Man,
that was a fight.
I used to have to fight to play. Remember Jet Set Radio?
Really? You had to fight to play that?
My sister, because she used the Xbox for music videos and to play CDs, and so I'd be like, it made me mad. But that's not even what it's for. I know it can do that.
I know that feel.
But I'm like, let me play the game. I know that feel. That game was so fun, and they're remaking it. And I'm like, oh please, I'll fuck around and get another Xbox.
It's worth remaking.
I'll fuck around and get another Xbox for that. I'll fuck around and do that.
Oh man, that's actually I was thinking about Jet Set Radio recently, and that property would have been interesting if they made a cartoon out of it.
Like a show, like a kind of like a 2013 like teenage, angst show.
Yeah. But that would have been very interesting, or even something that tried to capture that extreme feel of the late 90s. That could be interesting because of just the movement system that exists in that game.
But it's extreme, but it's also very underground. Fuck the system too.
No, it's very much that.
And so
I'm just saying you could definitely do both. It's you can do that. It's an option.
I could see that being something that would have, like, if it was like during the Drake and Josh era, would have done well. But like in today's age, it would have got like one season on Netflix and never seen again. Because it would have been doing too much with the message.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything.
It doesn't mean it's bad.
No, because
Netflix,
even if it's good, they could be like, oh, no, you see, it costs money to make. It's animated. It go.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I feel like, man. They got a season 2. It's season 3 that's not coming out.
No, that was part 2 of season 1.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, shit.
Season 2, we ain't ever gonna see that.
Oh, man, I liked Inside Job. That was a good show. It was real fun. It was funny, but it also had, like, again, good world building. But that's one where it's like a cross between real world stuff and then fictionalizing, like, theories and conspiracies and stuff.
It's just it's taking showing the absurdity of a lot of the things and taking it to their conclusions.
Taking it to their most extreme and drastic conclusions. Yeah. It's like that Elvis show we were watching with Squared, like the Secret Agent Elvis show on Netflix. Great show. And then they had stuff that was like happening in like the real world.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Were you not over there when we were watching that?
I couldn't have been there,
bro.
I don't know what you're talking about.
On Netflix, right there. I think it's called Secret Agent Elvis, and it's about Elvis Presley. It's an animated show. Played Matthew McConaughey as Elvis, first of all. So just out the gates, greatness there. Don Cheadle's in it. He's playing the secret agent like boss guy, and basically Elvis is
He's in charge.
He's in charge.
He's HNIC.
Yeah, and he's also in that universe Don Cheadle's Deep Throat that helped bust Nixon. And so it's from what I saw, the show it's great, but they take moments of Elvis's real life. Like some people don't know this, but he went to meet the president and he brought him a gun.
Yeah, Black Dynamite does a thing with it.
Yeah, and it's like he's brought him like an actual gun with ammo in there, and then there's like it goes on to be like turns out that he was a racist, and Elvis is like, nah, I don't fuck with all this racist shit, and it's a very interesting way to. It's a world that within itself is based off of our world, but has this other imaginary aspect, and I think that's a new kind of a genre that we have been dabbling in, but is getting more explored lately. You know,
it's a style that's definitely been explored because that's really what satire tends. That's what good satire. That's what good satire comes from.
Mm-hmm. Also, but like
it's just something that it comes and goes because people's taste and tolerance for different types of it wanes, comes and goes, so it changes over time. But that's just what the basis of a good satire comes from. You take the parts of real world things and just make them absurd, make them large, make them larger than life, and that's amusing, really. Mm-hmm. Especially when it's just some wild ass shit.
What world would you want to live in? Video game, movie, TV show. You know, what world would you think would be the coolest to live in?
Like the coolest?
Yeah. But you're still you. But what world would you think would be coolest to live in?
Wow.
You might get some superpowers based off the world you live in just by random chance. Like
just by random chance.
You know, like in My Hero where like 80 or 90% of the people get a power, you know, so you might get something. What? But, you know.
I got it. I'm a cheat. DC Universe Online. I just cheated.
Oh,
I just cheated.
Boo. So you're just gonna be where you get to make your own superpower. I just ensured
that I get superpowers, and hold on, I am ensuring that I am mentored by a top tier wielder of superpowers as well, or high tier technology for people that don't roll that way, or maybe just want to throw hands. That's all I'm saying.
See, my instinct is like, oh, it'd be cool to be in the Dragon Ball universe because I can train to be as strong as a god.
That's the thing.
But
none of that cool shit. You don't want to live there. No, whatever your favorite anime is. No, fuck that. You probably don't want to live there.
Unless I want to live in the Attack on Titan universe. Like, do you, bro?
No, they don't.
Do you?
I ain't never.
How often do you eat just plain potatoes? Like, bro, no salt. No sour cream, no cheese, no chive. Talking about plain boiled potato. Like, stop.
You want to live in the SpongeBob universe? You want to live under the sea? You want to live in a pineapple? You want to live under a rock? You want to live in a Tiki Island head?
I mean, honestly,
you want to be Hans? You can be Hans.
Oh, well, just the hand that scrubs gets rid of the suds. Nah,
you could be Hans.
I would want to be the con fish. Every morning I break my legs. And every evening I break my arms. Because I can still go get Krabby Patties. I have
you're
money.
Still you, guy.
Nah, but I mean, I would live in the SpongeBob universe. Because honestly, other than having to avoid SpongeBob, it's not that bad. And if he's at work, you know at least you're going to get some good food and a show. And honestly, the safest time to do stuff in Bikini Bottom is when SpongeBob's at work. After that, you got to stay in your house.
In reality, you know what world would probably be like out of all this bullshit? Kolyoko.
Really?
You know why? Because odds are, whatever that bullshit is, ain't really gonna have nothing to do with me. and it's, from my perspective, nothing is going to happen.
Nothing bad ever happens because the damn kids always saving the day and reset.
I'm not gonna notice that time skip. From our perspective, nothing happened.
So that's a regular world for you.
We could be living in a Kolyoko world right now, as far as we're concerned. As far as this goes, we could already be living in that universe.
Kolyoko with I leader.
That shit could be a documentary.
Stronger after all.
World's greatest documentary. Living in it. Kolyoko. I'll fucking take it.
Honestly, Avatar universe after Aang beats the Fire Lord. Not right now. I ain't talking about during the war. Afterwards.
He was like, yep, right when the Fire Nation attacks, I went in.
Air Nation, baby. Drop me in.
I'm going to save him. I'm going to save a one-man show.
All they needed was extra little wind power.
Extra little wind power.
So you know what makes me mad? Because up until
The fact that they found them at all.
that's part of it. that's part of it. I was gonna get there because I'm like, and then two, how the fuck y'all get up there?
I mean, I'm sure. Well, I think they have airships. They have airships.
They
right?
didn't have airships until Sokka invented them.
No, he invented submarines.
No. He invented the airships too.
But then weren't they
Sokka invented a lot of their tech.
Weren't they doing the thing that like the?
No, because remember
doing that?
He learned that he invented that shit from the when they went to the place with the fake gliders, with the fake airbenders at the different air temple.
Really?
Because the way they got up there, they used the tanks with the hooks, and Aang was flying around knocking the hooks out.
Huh?
And then he used the airship to drop the bombs, and then the airship crashed, and that's when they got their airships.
So these Fire Nation blimps, this not a thing?
That's afterwards.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Hold on. Huh. Oh. Yeah. What are you talking about? Cool.
Yeah. Sokka's responsible for all that.
No, because I didn't think you were lying, but I was like, really?
Yeah. Sokka's responsible for the blimp. They took his idea. It was like, nah, mass scale.
No, that's another feather in his cap, because a lot of people do talk shit about soccer, but I say those people just not paying attention.
You obviously not watching.
But that's okay.
Sokka's the anchor of Team Avatar. Like he's the one that keeps them together.
What, Sokka does more than Love Moon?
Don't ever call him Sokka. How dare you? How dare you? And how dare M. Night Shyamalan? How dare both of y'all?
So you take the Avatar universe?
I mean,
Oh, good old safe Ko Lyoko.
Because this is now.
So what you gonna do?
My normal life.
What you gonna? Oh, wait. Because in between Avatar and Korra, that's a long ass time. Like, so you was gonna be chilling? What you gonna do?
Who knows? I might be a bender. Fuck around. You know, I might end up being an earthbender. Might have me a water. If I was an earthbender, have me a little shop. I wouldn't be the cabbage guy.
Have me a little shop.
I'd be a weed bender.
It's extremely successful. You don't want to be him?
No. I have a weed shop because my way I figure, if you were earthbender, then you could just easily till up the land, and you be a great farmer. And you get like a waterbender friend. Forget about it.
Get a waterbender friend.
Forget about it. Then if you got a firebender in there to keep the biome a nice temperature.
Wow. It's like,
Forget about it. You got the best.
It's like, y'all was over here warring. We was over here making a nice operation.
There is no, munchies in Ba Sing Se. We got them for you.
There are no munchies in Ba Sing Se. Fucking clown. I mean, that's not bad.
Wouldn't want to live in the Avengers universe or any Marvel universe, truthfully.
Why not? Live in the burbs.
I would say I wouldn't want to live in New York.
Burbs.
I wouldn't want to live in New York in the Marvel universe. Like Chicago is probably straight. There's not really any heroes from Chicago that I know of, but definitely not New York at all.
You see Batman running around?
Technically Gotham's based off of Chicago,
Hey,
but
man,
technically they call New York Gotham as well.
My Batman movies was filmed there. I don't give a fuck what you say.
They was filmed there, but they was also filmed in like Switzerland
I
too.
don't fuck what you say. The parts that everybody remember was filmed there.
That's all I'm saying.
The Bat Cycle, there is no Bat Cycle scene without it.
You mean the Bat Cycle that can change night to day within seconds?
Amazing cycle.
Batman's so badass when he wants it to be nighttime, it becomes nighttime. I need cover. It's dark now.
Now that is world immersion. You talk about world building, you talk about keeping them locked in.
Because you know what? I ain't noticed that shit till I watched Cinema Sins. I had no idea that it just got nighttime. I was like, yeah, Batman's here. Of course it's nighttime. Duh.
Of course, it's nighttime.
Duh.
They said the same thing.
Otherwise, he'd have the weirdest tan, and everybody would know that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
I like to think that he really just sat in that tunnel until the sun went down, and we are just seeing him leave.
Just waiting for
Like he went in the tunnel, just got out of the camera shot, stopped, and then because he got to build up speed, so as soon as the sun went down, now
Cat just having a little bit of his back coffee, talking to Alfred. So what you make for dinner, Alfred?
giving all the officers time to shave up, clean up for the big reveal.
You gotta look good when you about to go beat up the Joker Bane. Sorry,
it's been 6 months. Like they have to clean up before they come out and save the day.
Yeah,
it's been a long time since the good people of New York have seen a cop. They gotta present their best.
Talking about Batman and world building, a bit of world building that keeps getting forgotten that I always like to bring up about those movies is
the big ass penny.
No, that's not in the Nolan universe, unfortunately.
You're just not looking hard enough, bro. It's way in the back.
That thing that the bat car comes up on, that's the penny. You just missed it.
Look, all you got to do is search it up on the internet. It's going to be a circle with a big ass red arrow pointing to it. That's the one.
That's it. That's the video. But in the beginning, we're in the Dark Knight Rises, where Bruce is coming back, and he's like, "You ain't got no cartilage knees. You ain't got all this damage to your spine."
He gave him the robot knee.
Yeah,
and then he kicked the shit out of that pillar.
Yeah, it's a solid concrete brick. Kicked the shit out of it.
That man's about to be killing people.
Don't
with
throw
that
a
leg.
kick the rest of the movie.
Look. If you wrote that in there. You wrote yourself into that corner. You can't have him kick somebody and have them get up. You can't have that.
At least you should have thrown a one kick at Bane. When you were throwing these elbows at him and they were doing nothing, he's eating them joints up. Maybe the robot kick Nick to the neck.
Look, did you want a movie or did you want one fighting credits?
All I'm saying is you could have tried.
What you want?
You could have still had Bane eat that shit up, but you could have at least been like, man, that shot in the rib or something, I don't know. If you gonna ground Bane and make him this Russian dude without the venom and stuff, you could let him get a kick to the body. Fuck it.
Look, did you want a movie or no? Did you want him to win immediately, or did you want to see a journey? That's like asking, why didn't Goku just land on Namek, go Super Saiyan, and kick his ass?
Because he didn't have it.
Because it's not fun. Toriyama could have done that anytime.
Nah, that would have. Did you know how crazy it would have been if he just, as soon as he landed on,
he did it with Cell. Cell was transforming left and fucking right.
But you know how just wild that would have been though. If Goku just showed up on them like Super Saiyan and just ran through everybody.
Like the time he just popped up with a kid? Come on. Goku loves surprising the fans.
Man.
He loves them. Come on.
It's like, not only do I have a child, he's 6 years old. It's like, Goku, you had a kid for a while, huh, bud? Where have you been?
Toriyama said, we're done with this kid shit. It's grown man time.
He's like, you're going to call you Teen Gohan. I'm 11, Teen Gohan.
That's him, Han. Gohan's best years were right in that little time span.
Yeah, you know what I think about world building about Dragon Ball is fun is that most of it's done within the fans' heads. That it's not even in canon world building, and it's just that stuff that we've come up with. Toriyama just yeah, that's true. Like the Zenkai boost, that's firmly, I believe, was a fan theory first, and then he
Toriyama,
was like, yeah,
Day one, he was sitting down. He was writing the issue 1 of Dragon Ball. He was drawing in Goku. He was like, yeah, power set, tail, power pole, cloud thing, Zenkai boost.
No,
he didn't. He knew Zenkai boost before he even figured out what Nimbus was gonna be. He was like, man, because I got my Journey to the West action going on. So he was like, I gotta have my Sun Wukong action. But what we need something a little more, something a little spicy, a little. And he was like, Zenkai boost.
No, this is the same guy that forgot that Saiyan's tails grow back. Forgot about Goten altogether.
But you know what he
forgot. Just forgot he existed.
But you know what he didn't forget? Zenkai boost because it was so integral to Goku's power set.
No.
This show, this manga would have never gotten off the ground without the Zenkai boost.
Love the universe. Love Dragon Ball. Anyone that watches the Potluck and listens to us, check us out on all platforms. You can find us anywhere you listen to and watch stuff. Soon coming to TikTok. Wait on it. But he's getting old, man, and he's been doing this for 30 plus years.
And you think that someone that's been this deep in the game would not think of something so just absolutely pivotal to the series as the Zenkai boost?
Yes.
Man,
Eventually.
this is the man. This is Mr. 5 minutes himself.
Like, again, where fans had to fix that and be like, well, because they move so fast that 5 minutes seemed longer because they were moving at hyperspeed while they were fighting. Or maybe
these big giga-brain dumbasses didn't think for a second that maybe the alien was talking about Namekian minutes. They don't know everything about Namek. They've been on this planet a week and think they know everything about how Namek work.
Don't Namek got like 3 sons too? So
you don't know how they measure time?
You know what's really crazy? You don't want to talk about what should have happened on that world with all the sons they got. They should have just, as soon as they got to Namek, just faceplant on the ground, all that damn gravity.
Like they acting like they know how Namek measures time because they've been there for a couple goddamn episodes.
Slugman.
Frieza been there oppressing them for years.
Think so? I think that was the first time he been in Namek. I don't think he even knew Namek existed. I don't think he'd been there before.
Nah, yeah, you're right about that. He's been there oppressing them for moments.
And that's the other thing too. That Toriyama don't be doing great about telling you how long people been.
There might be Frieza units. He might just be changing the time scale when he run up on a place. He loves conquering shit. He's like, yeah, no, whatever time I say. 5 Frieza units.
Sir, that's like an hour. What did I say?
5 Freezies.
Freezies. I don't like that. I don't want to call them Freezies.
He can call him whatever the fuck he wants. Look, when he rolls up on his floating egg thing, are you going to tell him he's wrong?
What I don't like is how his tail just be sitting up there just flopped out like this. Because I feel like he made people kiss the tail instead of kiss the ring. Kiss the tail, monkey.
That's the shit that fans do. See, he didn't forget about the tails. That's why he always called them monkeys, because he's unfortunately technically correct.
Yeah, in the loosest term.
Where he scooped up the terminology, I'll never know. I'll never figure that out.
You can't tell me Frieza wasn't on Earth at some point during the 17 to 1800s. Okay, you can't tell me he wasn't. He's like, ooh, filthy monkeys. I know some filthy monkeys.
So you saying he knew about Earth and was like, this shit sucks, dipped out, and then the Dragon Ball showed up and he was like, word. That's why they got there so fast.
What I think happened was he was there and he went to England and it was like, slavery. You like slavery. And then he came over to Earth and came over to America. It's like, ooh.
Wait a minute.
Super slavery.
So wait a minute.
And so that's why Frieza became a conqueror.
No.
Because slavery is bad.
Shut up. I have to ask this.
Don't be. So you're telling me slavery's good?
No,
is that what you're gonna say?
No.
For the
but
whole
I am about
internet?
to ask you. I'm about to ask you this because you're blasting past something that I need to address. So, are you under impression that the Dragon Ball, in terms of Earth time development,
they too had slavery?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Mr. Popo was definitely a slave.
Oh my God, no, nigga, that's not what I'm asking. So you think that this takes place in the future as opposed to some weird version of the past?
Yeah, definitely in the future. I've always thought it was future Earth. The Dragon Ball is because they got the hover cars, they got dinosaurs.
I'm not saying you're wrong. This is like maybe because we do just happen to follow characters that live out in the boonies.
That's what I'm saying. But like, when Krillin's on there, he's got a hover motorcycle.
Hey man, Star Wars takes place in a time long ago in a universe far away. Hey, anything could have happened between then and now.
I always took that Star Wars thing to mean that, like, because time and way light travels, that it was a long time ago, because this would be like now when we're seeing it. But like, it's of course the future for them because the way that time goes forward.
Damn, your child brain was thinking that. You was a smart kid.
Nah,
Very
nah,
V12.
Nah.
Very V12.
As a kid, I was asking my dad to read the scroll because I couldn't read fast. I was like, and so to all the people that were like, I was like, what the fuck is that noise? That was my dad whispering the scroll to me in my ear because I couldn't keep up.
Hey, man. Some movie sounds.
Shout out to my dad. I love you, Dad.
I've agreed with a movie sound or two in my life. When I went to see Ant-Man Quantumania, there was a family there. This baby started crying. I was like, yeah, baby, I agree. Shit sucks. Sometimes the crowd doesn't be right. It's okay.
Yeah, I went.
It was like 6 of us in that theater.
I saw Breaking Dawn Part 2 with my mom in theaters when I was a teenager. And I don't know what was on me. I was on that day, but I was watching it, and it was the end part where, you know, one of the guys talking shit, and they're trying to make a deal, and it was right after the big fantasy sequence, and dude's talking like, but
the one with the cool fight.
Yeah, one with the cool fight that actually didn't actually happen. It didn't mean anything. That was all just like, ha ha ha. You thought that would have been a cool ending, ha ha. Didn't happen.
Heartbreaker.
Yeah, no. Where I was like, oh my god, is Twilight getting cool? Like, oh my god, and it's like, no.
No, bro, you said, like we talked about this last time. You were talking about how cool the freestyling was. She was spitting straight bars. She was like, what you think you know about vampires? Fuck that. Yeah. They die in the sun. We don't do that. We got the glitter boys.
Stop.
That's what she wrote.
Stop.
That's what you wrote.
Stop.
Hey,
stop.
man,
stop.
It's coming on mixtape.
There's a door, there's a window. You choose one you want to go out of. But you gonna stop right now.
Put it on the mixtape.
But there's a part in there where he would do something, but they consort with werewolves. And I was like, man, rip this motherfucker's head off. And the whole theater just started laughing. And I was like, I don't know where that came from. My mom mad at me because I cussed, but I'm like, that shit was funny. And I don't care what anybody say. But that's another interesting world that they built, and it's like the background world is more interesting, I think, than the stuff that happens in the
how we got here was more interesting than what happened.
Oh, 100%. Like the Jasper story in Twilight, it's fascinating.
So what you're saying is
because he should 100% be a racist.
She fucked up a fundamental part about telling a story within a world that's already built. She didn't do what Star Wars did. You started the most interesting part. And then you with other stuff.
I think that she knew her audience. I think that Stephanie Meyer, I think is the author's name. I think that she knew exactly what she was doing.
Of course she did.
But I think she also knew that there were people like me that tried not to be hypocrites when they talk shit. And so I was like, I'm going to actually read this so I can talk shit about it accurately. And it's a well-written piece of shit.
That wouldn't be a hypocrite. It would be a hypocrite if it was something that you love that did the same exact thing that thing does, and you was like, nah, this shit sucks because of XYZ, but it happens in something you love, and you don't say nothing about it there. Here, you would just be misinformed, and your opinions would be slightly less valid, but not a hypocrite.
That's fair. It's like the people that be like, oh, I hate Morbius, but they also like Iron Man. I'm like, ooh, watch yourself. Then the exact same movies. You can't say you hate one and don't like the other one. Hey, they're beat for beat the same thing.
Maybe one did it bad. It's like if someone does a cover of a song that you like, but their shit is just butthole, man. You like that song, maybe, sure. You like them beats, but you're ass.
I think it just became popular to hate Jared Leto after the Vasco with the Suicide Squad.
So you're saying that? Are you telling us that? Are you secretly telling us that Morbius is your favorite movie?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I think that
saying
Morbius
that it's actually very V12 and not bad at all.
I think that Morbius is a solid C+. That it was CGI was pretty good. There were some scenes that
are you also saying
bad.
that Iron Man 1 is a C+?
I think that Iron Man the movie is a C+. Robert Downey Jr. his performance was an A.
So what does the movie average out to as a whole?
I think Iron Man, the first Iron Man, averages out to about a 86.
So the difference sounds like
it sounds
like the main character did the main character not carry the weight?
It's because Jared Leto's not as charismatic as Robert Downey Jr. is, and that's never been his thing, his career. I think that Jared Leto's always been a good actor, and he's someone that can bring a lot to a performance, and like through his performance, you get a lot of world building through his performance for sure. But charisma's never really been like his thing, you know. It's like
sounds like he needed 10 yards, pulled up with 8.
I mean, I think he got a lot of hate for that movie, And I'm like, this is really like, this is a lot of studio influence. You can just see it. You can see that like this was something that was like, there was a tone that was set. And then they were like, oh, we're going to take it love story angle at the very last minute because of money, you know.
There was some dunks on him for sure, but at least I feel a lot of that stemmed from some just internet shit that they were doing during the promotional phase of the movie. And that was just sad to see because it was like, this isn't cool. But also the fact that when they brought it back out and no one really wanted to watch it again, like regardless of whether the movie's good or not, at that point it was pretty firm that wasn't nobody gonna go see it.
But you know what's funny though? That's what the opposite happened though, because when they re-released it, people trolled it and were like, and it was funny because it happened for like almost a month where teenagers and like people in their early 20s were going to go see Morbius in full suits. And then they were going to like, people would go up there and like live action role play the movie like in front of like they
were going for the memes
for the cinema. And like, because the people are trolling and they don't realize, it's like people that were throwing away all their Bud Light cans after they had sponsored the
they made more than $0,
and they made enough money to get a sequel out of it. And because people trolled so hard, it became so like they made their money back and then more. And I think that's something that's so funny about the internet, because it's like you don't realize that like by the time you've done the thing that you're trying to prove a point on, they've made their money. They don't care. After you buy the ticket, they don't care if you watch it or not. No, but there's something to be said about going out to troll and make fun of something, but they're still getting paid for it, you know?
Yeah, I'm saying like, I don't think they were doing it to prove a point. I think they were just doing it for the joy. Yeah. As a source of entertainment. You could even say that the movie is a success in terms of that.
Agreed. 100%.
I mean, that's what it is. It's just that in terms of the art form of making a film, that it might not be up to snuff depending on how you feel about it. But that the people that are in charge don't necessarily give a shit about that one way or the other.
I think that Morbius got a lot of hate, and I think that it was there are movies that are in the MCU that have gotten not as much hate that are worse.
Rattle them off right now. Put them on blast. Let them know.
Worst movie. I mean, Thor: The Dark World. That's an easy one to go to. It's not great at all.
Just give people a list of movies that they need to hate on besides Morbius.
To be honest, me personally, I didn't like that first No Way Home. Homecoming. Spider-Man: Homecoming. I think that's worse than Morbius.
You know how I felt about that. I was done with that movie during the movie.
As a Spider-Man fan, I think that movie butchered his character, and it only works the home trilogy only works, in my opinion, as an entire origin story. That all three movies are to tell one origin story of how we're about to get our next version of this Spider-Man.
Dude,
that's the only way it works for me.
At this pace, we gonna, by the time we get to something that's not his origin, we're gonna be 7 movies deep.
Honestly, because
we're gonna be on movie 10, and he was like, I, Peter Parker, am finally, truly, undoubtedly Spider Moon, and that's how the movie ends.
I mean, only thing that's gonna really speed this process up is Marvel's gonna have to buy out Sony Productions or outright buy the character, and that's gonna be trillions of dollars. Well, I say Marvel, I mean Disney, but they're just gonna have to outright buy the character at this point. Which world's smallest violin for them, because it's not like they don't have, they push out another Avengers
movie. They can afford
it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh no, the yacht has to be slightly smaller. Right. Oh no.
Yeah.
We won't be able to get 7 rounds of caviar, ladies and gentlemen. Only 6. No.
I mean, and then as soon as they put it out, it's Spider-Man is still the highest selling comic book IP ever. So
I mean, you saw when there was, at the end of the day, when it came to releasing Spider-Man movie or not releasing Spider-Man movie, some shit got figured out.
Yeah, damn straight it did.
So some shit's gonna get figured out.
I think it's funny because I guarantee the media that they had for Sony and Marvel was like, we don't really need you guys. You know how good that our animated Spider-Man movies are doing. Our Spider-Man shows are always good. But Marvel was like, but how them live action movies looking? Because your last good one was Spider-Man 2. Then Sony was like, nah, we can do it.
Look,
100% we can do it. Watch us do it. And they were like,
when it comes to adapting things,
where's Dane DeHaan?
Sony may have a little bit of an issue. Because when you mentioned Tom Holland, that immediately just made me think about how
Uncharted.
Yeah, I got there eventually. The immediate thought was actually how they're just putting that man in everything that Sony was just putting him in everything that they could, and obviously I got to that. But there was just a humongo failure in the world building of that movie.
You know what was
that was just a humongous failure of world building.
You know, it was another one that he had that was a cool concept, kind of
the spaceship thing with the glowy head. With the glowy shit.
Well, I maybe
read minds.
Yeah, where you could hear each other's thoughts and stuff.
Yeah,
it was a cool concept. But then I was like, this is also like you guys. It's like right there with the world building, and it's like now he gets stuck with these romantic plots, and I'm just like, man,
if it ain't got the love triangle, or at least a love isosceles, it's not gonna work.
No, and like it was I watched this video earlier this week, and it was talking about Special Agent Cody Banks. Is that his last name? What it was?
Yeah, it is. But like, continue. I don't want to know where this goes.
It was talking about that whole movie, how there's no point in there where Amanda Bynes and him have a romantic relationship. It's just them trying to get the bad guy, and it's like it's very few action movies do you see where the two male and female protagonists don't at some point have that, you know, a kiss or a romantic plot to it or something going on, especially in an action movie. And I don't know, I think it's refreshing when you do see it, because I feel like a lot of times cool plots get pulled off. Like the Maze Runner started building a cool world. It's like we're stuck in this, you know, this glade, and then there's this maze, all this stuff going on. We're trying to survive. We have this society.
To deal with.
Girl shows up, everything is fucked, and everything falls apart. And I'm less like, why did we have to make a subplot with? If you want to introduce a female character, make her more interesting than just a love interest.
That's one thing, but that may or may not stem from the fact that the target audience is teenagers, and a lot of people, when they look back on their teenage years, relationship stuff is certainly more important than it may have actually been.
But you know what's funny about that is, like, my favorite series is maybe, you know, I could be an outlier, but like most of my favorite series, books, TV shows and stuff, the love stuff was very minuscule to not there. Like I liked Narnia and Harry Potter, and
a lot of the stuff were a lot of things that are adapted where the love stuff may be pumped up. It probably in the source material may not even be a factor or that big of a factor.
Yeah,
or at least if it's in there, it makes more sense. It's like a genuine relationship that exists.
Yeah,
not just some things that happen along the way.
One series I liked to think about, I used to read as a youngin', was the Maximum Ride series. You ever heard of Maximum Ride?
No.
So it's about these kids that have giant bird wings that they were genetically experimented on as embryos and got bird DNA incorporated into them.
Oh, they're dinosaurs.
And so they got like hollow bones, and some of them got like extra powers and stuff, like side stuff. And they're trying to stay away from these government agency that trying to get them back, because it's like, y'all ain't supposed to be out here. If anyone finds out we did this to, you know, humans, we're going to jail forever, you know, type shit, because that's hella illegal. And it's just the whole the world that they build, you are instantly in it. It starts off with you like with them escaping from the facility, so it's not like and this is our main character, and this is where they came from, and they were born on July 12th, and this is when they grew up, and now they end up in the lab. It's like the first thing you're doing is you're in the shit with them. They're running around, and it's like she jumps off the cliff, and you're like, holy shit, she jumped. And then it's like, and then her wings unfurl, then she can fly. And it's like, yeah, she's got wings.
Starting with the interesting part.
Start with just get you right into it, get you right into the world, and it's like, okay, this is the world we're gonna be in now, and this is how these are the rules we're setting. It's like, yeah, you can still be shot and still be hurt. We can heal a little bit faster. We have wings, can fly for a long period of time, but the laws of flight still apply.
Yeah,
like they can't fly when it's raining because the wings get wet.
And sometimes even if you have good worlds like that or fascinating things, it can't always come down to execution. Mm-hmm. Execution can be a humongous miss.
Oh, 100%. Like, what was Jupiter Ascending? God,
that's the movie you were thinking of.
Super cool movie.
That's the Tom Holland movie you were thinking.
No. That's
no.
That's it's.
I think that was it. No,
Jupiter
that's a different
Ascending.
space movie.
Jupiter
Different space
Ascending
movie.
is with.
That's the one with the robots, right? With
It's not robots. It's with the way the Channing Tatum is a werewolf human soldier and fucking
werewolf human soldier.
Yes, he's a werewolf human soldier that at some point had wings as well. And it's with Mila Kunis, who's the queen of everything, and bees respond to her because bees genetically recognize queens.
With the cryogenic stasis.
These are different.
And he was like, "Hey, I've been waking. My shit's not actually broken, but yours is. Like, I would wake up and it's not that movie."
Nah, this is where Channing Tatum has like pointy ears and he's got the boots where he's like skating through. They're like anti-gravity boots where he's skating around. And he's got a shield, and the aliens come. The aliens are in the dental office with Mila Kunis. And she takes a picture of him, and I'm like, why would you take a picture with the flash on? You dumb bitch. There's a big lightning bolt that's on your camera that says flash. Turn it off. Nah, Jupiter Ascending is a crazy movie. And it's made by the Wachowskis. Well, one of the Wachowskis. And Eddie Redmayne's in there. It's a wild movie. None of it makes sense. Sean Bean's in there. Yeah. A good portion of it is you find out that the queen may or may not be a vampire, but it's like sci-fi vampire. That's where world building, I think sometimes people don't realize that the thing that Star Wars did, it wasn't crazy because of all of the aliens. That's not why we liked it. It was that it was all seemed real, that the world that they lived in, like the Katina seemed like a place you could go visit on. Was it Alderaan where the Katina is?
Then it's
or
I
don't know.
Something that's hard to pull off.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Something that's super not real seem extremely real.
Yeah, and like that was the thing about Jupiter Ascending. I was like, none of this seems real. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't care what you say, your bullshit reason. I'm like, but if something shot the Sears Tower and blew up the half top of it, I guarantee you people would notice, and I guarantee you we'd notice as it magically got rebuilt. I don't care what you say, especially
dude, it happened so
and it was like 9:00 on a Friday night. I'm like, bro, you know how many people are walking through downtown Chicago on a Friday night at 9:00?
Who's looking
in
up?
The summertime?
Who's looking up?
Everyone.
Who's like, what's there to look up
all
there?
All the fucking tourists.
What there to see up there?
All the fucking glass that probably fell when you shot. Like, no, bro, I'm sorry. I don't care what alien BS you want to explain. You're gonna have to do a lot of BSing.
Fine. But it's possible to do too much with something as well.
That definitely did it too much. They didn't do enough to explain it.
Look at every Doom movie ever made.
Doom?
Yeah.
I think the last Doom they made with the where they did the teleporter thing. I thought that was
the movies. No, them shits was ass.
The last Doom was fine. Not the one with the Rock.
I know what you're talking about. That shit was ass too.
It was fine.
No, it was not fine. No, it is not fine. That is not. Hold on. If you do not walk away from anything that has the audacity to put the word Doom on it, if you don't walk away and say, quote, damn, that was metal as fuck, you failed.
That's fair.
You have failed. That is the end of the sentence. If any Doom property, I don't care if it is a Doom themed sandwich.
So mad.
If you don't walk away and go, damn, that sandwich was metal as fuck, they have failed.
Wait, what's a metal? What would you describe as a metal as fuck sandwich? If you were to make a metal as fuck sandwich, what do you put in a metal as fuck sandwich?
If I were to make a metal as fuck sandwich,
yeah.
Well, it depends. Like what kind? Like a cold cut sandwich?
Yeah, metal as fuck cold cut.
A metal as fuck.
You can choose to toast it if you like.
Choose to toast it if you like.
What's the metal as fuck sandwich? I feel like you gotta go with like a hearty meat, like some substantial meat. Metal's not no flimsy, sliced thin meat.
No, bro, it doesn't matter. You just make your favorite cold cut sandwich, whatever. You enjoy that shit, but you wrap it in foil.
That's how you make it metal. Shut because it's aluminum foil is metal.
No, that's not why. It's because you're salty splatooning it up. You need more grit in there.
So you gonna eat you eating the foil too?
Yes, nigga. You're not wrapping it in foil for fun. You're wrapping it in foil because that's the last ingredient. You make the sandwich, you toast it, you wrap that shit in the foil, then it's done.
This nigga here. I guess that would literally be a metal as fuck sandwich. Yes.
Yeah, if I'm like, yeah, I want your metalist sandwich. I want just metal. And they're like, all right, cool. And they pull up and they got my sandwich and they're like, yeah, wrap, bow, eat it. And they're like, damn, smell as fuck.
See, I would say that it would be something
like, hey, you want meat? You gotta go out there and kill that shit yourself. And they're like, all right, cool, give me an axe. Nah, bro, you gotta strangle it. You want a beef burger? You gotta go out there and strangle that cow. I don't know if that's metal.
I think that's just how. That's just barbaric.
Hey, if that experience would be metal as fuck, wouldn't it?
I suppose.
Yeah, they're like, all right, cool. They flip on the Doom soundtrack, and all right, go get it.
I suppose that's metal as fuck, but that's kind of wild though. I don't know if I'm trying to do that. I was just talking about making getting a nice sub bun and then putting
not all experiences are pleasant experiences.
Maybe getting some pastrami. Put that on there with some roast beef.
We talking about shooting demons,
some
baby.
Jalapenos, some spicy mustard.
That's fine. Wrap it in foil.
I'm not eating the foil. I'm sorry. I'm not chewing. I'm not getting into the salty spittoon. That's all right. Winnie Hut General seemed like it was a vibe.
All you gotta do is lie, man. You ever consider lying?
I'm not a good liar.
How is he supposed to fact check dude's thing about the cereal, about the nails and milk? How the fuck's he supposed to fact check that?
When he got in, there was another bowl waiting for him.
I mean, I guess he could do that, but we don't know that. How they supposed to know inside that that's how we got in?
Because there's a camera.
Unless Reg goes up in there and is like, hey, we need to test this guy. He's like, oh, why are we letting him in? He's like, hey, he said he ate a bowl of nails for breakfast. And I'm like, all right, cool. Don't fuck about that. Without any milk. He's like, oh! And then they bring out the shits.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Every time.
Every time.
Everybody that gets checked in, they get checked by their way. Because like you said, anybody could lie. It's like when they in the movie.
So do you think dude that what about dude that ripped Reg's flipped Reg's tattoo over? You think what about
that
him?
was his proof. Reg just was like, nah. This
or
says
you think
wild
he had to
now.
walk in and flip every time somebody asked, he was in there flipping tattoos?
Nah, I think Reg just was like, hey, remember my shit that said mom says wow now? That was this guy. It was like he can show you, but this is enough for me.
I can make it dance. But I guess SpongeBob passed out before he would have gotten checked, I suppose. Cause he immediately walked in and slipped on the ice cube.
He got covered in boo-boos.
I suppose he got lucky then, because he wouldn't have been able to do the telekinesis ass whooping again.
Man. Like, does Patrick have telekinesis? Is that my theory for next week? That Patrick is a god?
Why would that be a thing? It clearly has telekinesis, and he has super strength. Come on, we know this already.
Super flexibility sometimes.
And he has the ability to regenerate from other parts of his being. That's why there's a lot of Patricks running around from time to time. We already know this
and if
information
he gets his
about
head
the
knocked
star.
off and a brain coral thing, can become a super genius too.
Yeah, but he's an asshole when he does that.
That's true, but most smart people are.
He sucks. Like, no one like them.
Yeah, you gotta. I think the medium intelligence people are the best people, because if you're too smart, you're an asshole, and if you're too dumb, you're just a dumb asshole, and that's worse than being an asshole, for sure. A dumb asshole is nothing worse than that. Being like right in the middle of being like.
What? So you're saying being wrong and mean is not the way?
That's just the worst. I hate. You can't be wrong and mean. You gotta pick one. That's why I always tell people, like, you can't be ugly and have a bad personality. You gotta pick one, okay? You can be ugly, but you gotta be a nice person.
With you're ugly inside and out.
You can't be both, okay?
Then you hit the button to make the crowd go ooh.
And if you gonna have a nice personality, I don't really like ugly people. You can't be ugly and have a nice personality. You got to. But you can't have a nice personality and be ugly and have a bad personality. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, because you lost me by halfway through that.
Yeah, there's too many personalities. I got lost myself.
I'm keep real with you.
I got lost
you lost
myself.
me about halfway through that sentence, and I was gonna let it ride.
But what I'm saying is, Patrick is a god. That's it. That's not the theory for this week, but that's next week's theory. Because I'm gonna dig into it with some evidence. Patrick is a god, in my opinion.
Tell the people about your D&D character.
He's a half giant, half man. I'm sorry, half giant, half dwarf. And the way I want it to go, but I'm gonna have to roll for this, is that he's just going to be a small sized giant. So he'll be like 8 or 9 feet tall, and have dwarven proportions with like his body, and he'll have a battle hammer and or axe.
Or he'll be a tall dwarf and be,
regular guy,
5 to 6 feet tall.
Or he might just end up being a regular guy, with some dwarven shapes, I guess. So he'll still be kind of buff, but he'll just be like a regularly stronger than regular human, I guess, but not by much, because he'd just be like, it just rations out to regular guy.
The name.
So I had a name, but Will's name was better, and so I think I might have to go with that one. I mean, Liga's name. It was Sir Biggeth of the Smalls. And I was like, damn, that's pretty fucking good. But I was also thinking Zila the Unburnt.
The fuck? Wait a minute. wait a minute. You're not going to blast past that one. So how did we get, what did you tell him that, so he ended up at Sir Biggeth of the Smalls.
I told him about the giant dwarf thing.
But you ended up on Zygote the Unburnt.
Zila, because it's Alex backwards.
I was close.
It's Alex.
I was close as hell, bro.
XELA.
I was close
Alex
as fuck.
backwards. So Zila.
You gonna send yourself to a different dimension. You keep saying that shit. Tell you right now,
Zila Sorim.
I can see it right now. We could be chilling, like time for the first session. He was like, "Yes, my character is."
Said it too many times in a row.
And there he goes.
I just Beetlejuiced myself. Shit. But and unburnt, because he's gonna be a dwarf and he's gonna work in the forge, so he's unburnt because he's gonna be a little fire.
Because he's that good.
He's just that nice. He's saying I don't even gotta use gloves when I do it. I just stick my hand in there and grab that shit. It's like all my axes got my fingerprints on them.
All right.
But yeah.
The barbarian mage guy?
Yeah. And he's going to do earth magic. So he's going to kind of be an earthbender.
So you're going to do elementals?
Yeah, I'm doing elemental magic with him. Yeah.
I can't wait to see you look at all those cool elemental spells that might not be earth and see what you do. If you're like, oh, do I take? No, do I not take? Do I take? Do I no take?
Because I want to make a tree grow out of somebody's mouth, and I feel like...
I'm keeping it a buck with you. If you want to do that, you'd probably be better off being a barbarian druid, but whatever. It's your guy. You can do whatever you want.
A druid. But that means I could also turn into a tree too.
What?
Well, most druids.
You could turn into animals. You can talk to plants. You could be
Why
like,
would I want to talk to a plant?
Hey, trees know shit, man.
I don't like that. I don't like that trees know things. My tree outside my bedroom knows too much.
Not everybody can talk to them.
Good.
Plants know
Gotta
shit,
keep it that
dude.
way. I don't want that. Nope. I don't want that at all. That's not good, because I've done things outside that I don't want them plants and trees knowing, man. Because if they tell somebody, I might go to jail.
Oh yeah, because that's a common tactic. All right, boys, time to investigate this old-timey magical crime. Bring in the druid. Talk to it.
He says he murdered the girl on the 5th, sir. Right underneath this tree.
And you don't even know. Some plants might be assholes. They might be holdouts. You don't know. Not all plants are nice plants.
All right, I'll think about
it.
Some
plants might have a no snitching rule. You don't know. You haven't talked to them.
When the trees lose leaves if they snitch. Those snitching trees lose leaves.
Anything can happen out there. It's buck wild.
Buck wild.
That's fun. I can't wait to watch you flip that coin and be short.
Nah, I believe in the heart of the cards. I'm gonna be the right size. I'm gonna be a small dwarf. A small giant. I saw halfling and I got excited. I'm like, oh, what's the other half? And I was like, oh, you just meant hobbit.
So which one of y'all gonna die first?
Probably me. I mean, if we're being honest, it's probably gonna be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I like to play video games. I don't do a lot of protecting. I don't use shields.
Don't get too attached.
You know what I mean? I don't fucking use shields. You know me. If it's not full offense, there's no defense.
Okay. Hey, I don't care, bro. Just make 2 guys. That's okay. Just bring
bring a backup.
Bring a backup guy for when that first guy dies. That's cool.
You know what I'll do? My backup guy will be whatever the other side of the coin toss would have been. So if
This face will be like, in the character description, it's gonna be the same exact character but with a mustache. He has a curly Q mustache.
Like, aren't you? Nope, different guy.
That is my cousin. I'm here to avenge him.
Like, you sure you're not the same guy?
I'm gonna kill that guy too. It's gonna be the same guy, but now he also has glasses.
That's gonna be my thing. All my characters that die is gonna be the same dude with a different disguise. That's good shit.
Idiot. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the legacy segments.
Theory time.
What you got?
So I heard this theory from who I'm gonna flame up to, because it's a slight self flame up and then flame up for dating apps and then flame up for this crazy person.
Wow, wow, so many flame ups.
But we're gonna get to the theory first. So the theory, so you know the Grinch. And
love the Grinch.
So you know how everything in his house that he has, everything the Grinch owns, was thrown away by the people of Whoville.
Greatest thief of all time.
You know how sometimes people get dogs to people as holiday presents and they end up at the shelter because they didn't want the responsibility.
Yeah.
The Grinch has one of those dogs and someone threw it in the trash can as a little puppy.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, it made so much sense and it broke my little heart, because I was like, everyone's giving the Grinch shit, but whoever threw that fucking dog away can see me and run these hands, because that's fucked up.
Look.
That's fucked up.
Everybody watches the Grinch and they say, "Oh, but what about the Who's and when?"
Fuck the Who's.
And I'll say, "Hey, this is what you call a little bit of divine retribution."
Fuck the Who's.
They had their moment. They realized it was a good thing for Whoville. They got all distracted by the Who gongles and boo bongles, but the Grinch was like, "No, you need to remember what's important, and that is family, because there is no Dom in the world of the Grinch." But luckily, they have.
I don't think the world of the Grinch will be ready for Dom Toretto, because when that sled was going down the hill, Dom would have tried to drift the motherfucker.
No. So this is what would have happened. He would have been on top of the hill and he would have been trying to pull it. He would be like, "No, we can't do it. We have to do something more." And he's going to look at the dog and he's like, "This is for family." He's going to hop into the front and he's going to gun it. And then, boom, right over Whoville to this other mountain that we don't see up until this point. And he's going to land perfectly on there, then hit the drift, delivering gifts to the children for family, and thus ending the movie.
There's also another theory.
Grinch 4 coming in 2028.
There's a sequel. My idea for a sequel to The Grinch is the story about the Whoville baby that ended up in the Grinch world. Because, in the beginning of the Jim Carrey Grinch, where the Jim Carrey's little stork thing pushes what would have been the lesbian's baby. That's the other thing I love about the Grinch, is that his parents are just obviously lesbians, and they was at a swingers party when the Grinch was born. And it's like, if anyone that disagrees, I'm like, what else do you put your keys in a fishbowl for? You know what that means. I know I missed it as a kid, but as an adult, I was like, oh, the Grinch's parents was getting it in. I was like, all right, ladies, I see you. Good vibes. But yeah, the movie I would love to see is what happened to the Whoville baby, because I'd have to imagine he lands in the world of green people. They're all grumpy and, they hate loud noises, and he's got the genetics to just be loud and rambunctious. I think they kill him.
That why we haven't got that movie?
He's probably
because
dead.
That ended up creating an extremely metal sandwich for those Grinches.
And I think the Grinch people killed him. The way that the Grinch hated sounds,
metal sandwich.
The only reason he didn't go on a killing rampage is because he was outnumbered. But the Grinch clearly had some sort of super strength.
He could have done it. As easily as he got in and out of those houses, Whoville could be Noville in a night.
He said Grinch could have slit so many throats.
Whoville could have been Goneville like that. Like, come on now.
He said you lucky the Grinch wasn't on different time because I could have left all the presents and killed the people. No sound.
He is the hero. He reminded them what truly matters about the Christmas season.
Hero?
Hey,
Hero?
Hey, look. Who reminded them what is important about the Christmas season?
Cindy Lou Who.
No, it was the lack of the goo bongles and glue brongles.
Her dad.
No, he didn't steal Christmas.
But it's like, is it really saving somebody when you caused the crime they got saved from in the beginning?
Well, he didn't create Christmas. He didn't create the goo bongles and blue bongles.
It's like if I punch you in the eye, but give you an ice pack and be like, you could at least say thank you. Like,
nah, G. It's like this.
You know
it's
what
like
I mean?
You was fighting for money, right? And now you rich. You rich as fuck. But you still out there fighting in the street for some reason. I'm like, Rock, you don't need to do this no more, Rock. But for some reason, you keep doing it. So on the last fight, I'm like, man, he's really losing sight of what's important here. I beat the shit out of you one day. And you wake up and your wife and family is there taking care of you. And you remember, wow, this is why I did all those fights. Not for the glory. It was for you. And you stop going out there and fighting, Rock. You
I'm
just
so
have to recover
lost.
this one
I
time.
have no idea what we're fucking talking about anymore. I'm so lost.
How the Grinch saved the day. I'm glad
But
you
what does it
understand.
have-
Anyway, so yeah. So you got some flame 'em ups?
gotta-
Now that we can all agree that the Grinch is the hero, you got some flame 'em ups?
So you know me. I try to be fair to everybody. I try not to be judgy. I try to be, as open minded as possible. You know me. I don't always do my best, but I'd always try.
Don't always do my best.
You know what I'm saying? I try to give people a bit of a doubt. I try to consider people's circumstances, but sometimes I'm just like, all right, you're fucking weird. So I went on a date with this Tinder chick, and we were supposed to go out to eat. We ended up getting too high. I ended up just doing carry out. And first of all, it was just cool vibes. First, I'll call it an orange flag because I didn't know it was a red flag at the time. I just knew that the flag was not a normal flag because she had a tank of piranhas, but didn't have any piranha feed and was trying to give them little pieces of like hot dog and like frozen crab meat. And I'm like, I don't think the piranhas want that, but I'm also not going to argue with somebody that's got a tank of piranhas. So I was like, okay, whatever.
Piranhas are heat.
And I was like, okay.
She's good with animals.
And so that was my thing at first. I was like, that's kind of an out there kind of pet, kind of cool. I was like, not like I said, orange flag, not green, not red, orange. It's just in the middle. It's like, I don't know what to make of this flag, but it's interesting at the very least. And then so date goes on. And we go to pick up the food, and I'm like, hey, I left my weed at your house, but I got my pen in the car. If you want to rip that, go ahead. And my pen is a little bit clogged. And so once you get it going, that first hit hits hard. I was like, hey, be careful. She was like, oh, I'm the queen of getting pens unclogged. She did get it unclogged in one go. And, my horny brain was like, dude, that's for me. What you talking about? If you can get that unclogged. But, like, anyways. She did that.
That's how we got here. It's like got bamboozled.
But I didn't. That's in my head. But I didn't say that. She rips it, and then that's when all of the fakeness came off, and she started being herself. And first thing we got back, she was talking about she had this table, it was a little circle table, and it went in like this, and it had a little flat part, so it had like a lip going around it. Can you envision what I'm talking about? So the bottom of the table here's got a little lip.
All right.
Okay, so she's like, I collect other people's teeth. And I'm trying, Ringo. I'm trying hard. I'm trying to be the shepherd. But I am the tyranny of man. And I'm like, what do you mean by that?
Are they at least gold?
No. I
I
didn't see the teeth. I didn't want to see the teeth. And she asked me, and I was like, what do you mean by that? She was like, oh, well, like, my friends' kids lose teeth, the people I know lose teeth, my teeth that fall out sometimes. And I was like, I didn't ask the question, but in hindsight, I was like, what do you mean your teeth just be falling out? Like,
Right, she just flew right past that like she didn't say it.
And I was like, what do you mean you have other people's teeth? She's like, oh, I just have like a collection of them along with other people's families' photos. And so I was like, all right, so there's been an orange flag and then 2 red flags. And then earlier it was like you were real like, I was like, maybe I'm just, you know, I was kind of feeling myself. Like then I had on a nice shirt, not this shirt, it's a new shirt, shout out Big Homie Liger. But like I was feeling myself. I was like, you know what, I'm looking good today. Maybe that's why she's all over me. You know, I put on a little bit of cologne in the car and type shit. But I was like, ooh, that was also a red flag because you was clingy out the gates. So let me tell you what she was going to do with the teeth in the other people's family photos.
Necklace.
No. Damn. She was going to put them in the table, fill the table up with resin. And then she was going to tell people that these are her family people and their teeth and make up stories about the teeth and the people. And as she's telling me this, I was sitting on her couch. And like at first, you know, we were sitting there and I had my arm like this, you know, and then I didn't realize at some point I had put my arm down. And then as the story kept going on, I slowly was like doing like this on the couch and trying to get far away as possible. And she was like, oh, you know, like if you want to leave like around 11, you know, or, you know, if you really want to spend the night, you could. And it was like 9:30. And I was like, you know what? I actually gotta go. You see, I gotta be up at like 5. Not true. But I was like, I can't be here no more. Like, you're giving me serial killer vibes. And then when I was leaving, I was gonna roll up and smoke because I had to clear my head. And she stood in the doorway for like 5 minutes while I was in the car trying to roll up and just stood there and just stared. And it was like 30 degrees outside. Waiting.
Looming.
And it was like, it's like 30 degrees outside. It wasn't like it was like warm or nothing. It was cold. And I was like, yo, and I told JB this. He was like, we got to start sharing our locations. So I was like, yeah, bro, she could have straight up murdered me. Like, real talk.
I mean, yeah, you just sped past all those danger signs. You said, hey, fuck danger. We going.
So that's my thing. I was like, I gotta flame myself up, but I gotta flame her up, and I gotta flame up Tinder because I'm like, y'all gotta do a vetting process or something. Y'all gotta start doing like psychological background checks for you. You just can't let everybody make a profile.
Whoa.
Like, cause I'm like that. She seemed like a danger. You know what I mean? Like,
did you die?
Cause I got the fuck out of there.
Did you die?
I got the fuck out of there.
It sounds like all you got was an interesting story to tell.
I was afraid. I was scared. And then, you know, what pissed me off?
A little fear ain't never killed nobody.
Because I was going to delete her of Snap and all of that shit. You know what made me mad? I fucking vape pen was in my car. And I started feeling guilty because I was like, man, if this is all I had to get high for a whole other 2 weeks, I'd be upset. Especially if it was on somebody that I had thought I had a good vibe with and I couldn't get it back. So I was like, you know what?
So
I'll meet you at the movie theater, but you can't get my home address. I'm not giving you that. Nope.
Oh, bro, you should have just put it in like an envelope, little rock, swing by.
Keep pushing. That's what she said. She's like, you could just throw it outside, honestly. But I'm like, but if I throw it outside, I have to tell you kind of where at.
It's not no problem no more. Is that your vape pen?
But no. It's not even that. It's like if I throw it outside my house, that means you can nail down where I live, and it only takes. I didn't
say throw it down to your house. You so about where you met her at, hit it with the. And it's like, yeah, you already got it back.
Because she lived in Michigan City. I was like, I'm not about to drive 45 minutes out here. This is throw this shit outside your house. I'm like, you have to come this way because I ain't spending. I ain't about to put in another $15 in gas.
So you
for your shit.
Not only did you build all this crazy bullshit, you drove all the way over there. Do that.
Look, the vibes we was texting was great. Texting vibes was cool, and the pictures I was seeing.
Didn't ask about no hobbies. Didn't say, "Hey, you got any hobbies?"
I did, but then like, she was like, "Oh, I'm a writer and I do art." And I saw her art, and I was like, "Oh, cool. Art's cool. I like aliens. That's a cool alien art. You get that alien boobies. I like boobies. I like aliens. This is cool stuff." I saw her other art.
Look at that as aliens' teeth.
I didn't see the alien had no teeth. She took the alien's teeth too. The alien had no teeth. She took the alien's teeth too. Idiot. Yeah, that's my flavor. But flavor myself up, flavor up Tinder for not having a vetting process, and flavor her weird ass up for leaving her pen in my car. Cause, oh man, she blew my phone up for that motherfucker, and I was like, yep, we ain't never hanging out again because you fucking nuts. You got any flame ups this week?
Nah, I don't have no flame ups, but I do have some flowers to give.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Not you. Fuck you.
Wow. Wow. Invite this guy to my house, share my nachos with him, give him a beer, and this is how he treats me.
Over here ignoring all these well-colored flags.
Look, The flags wasn't presented. And
Are you colorblind?
when the flags got presented, I got the fuck out of there. Like it went. I didn't hang around. The flags weren't even there.
Smell was over here like, hey, she was like, hey, can you hold this for me? Hey, oh man, what's all these red flags about? Oh, nothing. Oh, cool.
Look, the flags wasn't there until I was like stoned.
It wasn't until she started juggling them shits, and then he was like, oh man, those are really red.
You know when you see somebody juggling and they just doing the balls, you're like, all right, that's cool. And then out of nowhere they get the rolling pins in there. It was just like that. It was like, whoa, I was interested in the balls. I don't know what the fuck's going on now. Whoa. And then a chainsaw came in. It was like, well, you get the bowling pins and chainsaws. Why are you so good at this type shit? Like,
But yeah, no, I got some flowers to give, and as much as it pains me, as much as I thought I'd never live to see this day, I'm going to have to deliver some flowers directly to the doorstep of Illumination Animation.
Really? For what?
Because they were given a task. Make the world of Mario, bring it to life, and make it fun. And they did enough to get $500 million worth. And they did so without relying on the things that people have come to expect from an Illumination film, i.e. the lowbrow stuff. Because they made a lot of Minions movies, and that's what that is. But you know, there are those that forget that the first Despicable Me movie was just heat. It was just heat.
Soundtrack is impeccable. Pharrell snapped on that soundtrack.
That he did.
Take me far away.
And the animation itself, aside from what it is, just the animation, the art of animating motion pictures. Mm-hmm. They know what they're doing.
Yes.
They're not amateurs.
No.
And they were given a good source material. They were given something fun. They made it fun. They didn't do too much, and I gotta give them their flowers for that. Because it's a milestone in the advancement of adapting video games into movies. Something that shouldn't have taken this long to get right, because the pieces were already there. But it's another step on the milestone of getting more consistent releases of adaptations that don't suck dick. So,
and I think that we're seeing a turning point in our society where people are no longer accepting it's been adapted, so you should be happy. It's like, no, we still want. Well, I think that there was a time period where that was what it is, where it was like the Mortal Kombat movies, or like, you know, the Agent 43. Like, there was a long time where it was like, we gave you something, be happy about it, that this even got made and was released in theaters. And now it's to the point where it's like, no, if you're going to adapt our source material, make it good, and it should be. It should always been like that.
And it comes from video games being more popular, and that popularity having been cultivated over years and years. You're going to have more people that are more familiar and more passionate about these things in those roles. And this is a turning point in that, with the amount of times in a row these properties are generating money and buzz and both, or like in certain cases, like we had the Sonic movie, you have the Mario movie, you have the Last of Us thing going on, you'll have the Horizon Zero Dawn stuff in the future, you've had Pokemon for always. When it works, it works. It's just another step in getting it more consistent, and we're going to see a deluge of adaptations as this goes along, because people are going to follow the money always. Adaptations have always made good money in terms of movies. Books have been doing it forever. Comic books have been doing it for the last decade in terms of what's at the top level. And there's literally no reason that video games can do the same thing, because they're both visual mediums. There's no reason that it couldn't exist. It's just a matter of doing what movies do well to tell this story, as opposed to in video games you have to do what those do well to tell the story.
I think it's also taking the video game story serious. I think that was another part of it too, that people wouldn't take IP that was based in a video game that was sold as a toy serious.
Because they didn't always do IP that lends itself to that. Like the Mario movie is not a serious movie. No one was billing it as a serious movie.
But
story wise, it's not that serious.
When I say take it serious, I don't mean take it as like making a serious point, but I mean taking it serious as a piece of art that you're going to make and put your best foot forward with.
Because with the original Mario movie, that was just an action movie that someone slapped a Mario skin on. That's
Mario, Luigi Mario. Oh my god,
they didn't want to take it serious, because they just wanted to make their thing. And it's like the tone of the Mario movie and the tone of a like God of War movie, Zelda movie, whatever. All them shits should have different tones because they do have different tones.
Man, a God of War movie would be heat.
That would be.
That would be heat. But I think a God of War series would be good, but it would be harder to do than a movie. Because I think it'd be harder to continuously stick that landing with that kind of character.
With God of War, if you were to do a TV show, you'd have to slow it down and you'd have to spend more time. You would definitely, for sure, have to spend more time with him in his Spartan days because you have to get people to understand where everything starts because the people like think that he's just a rage monster for the sake of being a rage monster. You have to get on people to understand the betrayal that everything stems from in God of War 1.
I think that you could do something more John Wick-esque with him. I think if you could start with Kratos,
for sure.
No, I'm saying that you could do Kratos starting off with the most recent God of War, where he's fighting with like Loki and Thor. You could start off there.
You could definitely start
and then you could have many flashbacks or like whatever you'd have to establish that kind of character and to like show them like
you could start
that,
off there,
but I think a show you'd have to like I think you would have to do a little bit more with the show, or you'd have to do
and I think
more legacy building.
I just think that'd be a little lazy because it's easy to do the new God of War because that is after the God of War has made a shift to make the narrative more of the front line. And when you adapt something like the God of War series, you have a golden opportunity to show something that fans of the series already know, in that the story for God of War from front to back has always been there. It's always been good. It's just that the first 3 games, the gameplay is what was the main focus there. So that it's not getting the spotlight. The new games, the story has the spotlight a little bit over the gameplay. It's about 50-50, but it's like 51-49.
Yeah. But I think the more of the cinematic parts of it took more of a prevalence in the later games than in the earlier ones, for sure.
And with God of War, the series always, from day one, it was always about the spectacle, and movies lend themselves to that. You could definitely just do the original trilogy as well. The only thing you have to make sure that you nail to make sure the tone lands is that original betrayal with Ares tricking him into killing his family, and understanding the rage that he feels, because the other betrayals that happen later are explained within the story. Like his beef with Zeus is well explained and explored by the time it's important.
That's true.
So,
You'd have to. It would go really down to who's going to write it and who you're going to cast as Kratos, because I think it really more so going down who's you cast as Kratos.
A lot of people want Jason Momoa, but I do not.
Terrible choice. Jason Momoa is not that good of an actor. I'll just keep it a buck. He's not that good of an actor. And like I think the things that he does best is when he doesn't have to do dialogue, and that's, you can't really have a Kratos. I think Kratos, the little bit of dialogue that he has, and everything he says, you have to say it perfectly. And I don't think Jason Momoa can hit every line like that.
Kratos is the type of character that, especially in the later games, because he doesn't really have a lot to say in any of the games, he's the type of character that he doesn't speak often. But when he speaks, it's important, and he's very pointed with his speech.
Yep.
You have to be very particular about who you have delivering lines with those types of characters.
I would get like it's hard because I would want to cast someone of color, but like the people I think that would do a good job are white people. Like I think Gerard Butler, I think he would do a good Kratos, but that's because he did Leonidas, you know what I mean? And like he's already kind of done a role that's a Spartan and has that tough kind of grit to him.
At the end of the day, most of it doesn't really matter, but most of whoever, regardless of who you cast, Kratos the character, 90% of the story, he's cursed. So
and he's gray.
He's the ghost
so
of
it
Sparta
doesn't really matter
for 90% of the movie. So regardless of who you cast, regardless of how you feel about it, if you don't like it, it's only going to be that way for like 20 minutes.
And maybe a handful of flashbacks,
20 minutes in the first movie of this series is all it's going to be. Maybe once more in a flashback. So that's it.
That's very valid, because he got the burn on ashes. So I mean, but that's, I don't know who would I
even the tattoo thing, like the tattoo thing comes into play. That's more important in the first game.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't come up again.
I mean, I would love to see Chris Judge do it, but I think he's getting a little too long in the tooth to do young Kratos. You know, he'd have to pick up the role, or you know, I mean, I guess that now with the de-aging tech they got now, he could do it now, but I think that would be just a waste of finances trying to do that. I would hire somebody younger, someone like in their like early 30s.
I mean, that just comes down in the casting department. You have to just find somebody with that just like could feasibly, realistically be a younger version of them. That's their goal. That would be their main goal there.
You know who wouldn't be bad? Denzel Washington's son.
Yeah.
To be like young Kratos. If he can get like a little more gravitas on his voice, a little more oomfa. But yeah.
You could do some movie magic and have a Darth Vader situation going on.
True, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you could do that.
Granted, it'd be a little harder without a mask, but hey.
You know what they did in the Obi-Wan series was pretty cool was they mixed Hayden Christensen and James Earl Jones' voice together. And when his mask was broken off, and so there were parts where they were both talking, and there was parts where it was just Darth Vader's voice and just like Hayden Christensen's voice. So they probably pull it off nowadays.
Oh, I'm certain it can be done because if you sync it perfectly, it can be done. That's how music videos are made. So it's not a lack of technology; it's just more of execution.
The moment I found out that music videos are silent, it really bothered me because I was like, "Wait."
Mostly silent because to get the best performance, you should just do it. But it's mostly silent.
But I was like, because it was in the Say That Money video where Lil Dicky showed up to the T-Pain video and he was just singing, but there was no music, and like it was just like people was twerking and shaking ass. I'm like, Sayadas be throwing ass to silent time. Like that's crazy.
Professionals.
I'm honestly professional video vixen. Yeah.
Hey, there's a lady wrote a book about it.
Really?
I think it was like Confessions of a Video Vixen or Tales of a Video Vixen, some shit like that. That book was thick too. It's way bigger than a book of that title. How thick you think that book is?
300, 400 pages.
Like you thick?
Yeah, sure.
Thicker than that.
That's way too thick. I don't know what's in there, but it shouldn't be that big.
I don't know either, but that book
she published that herself for sure.
That book is very big.
No editor. I bet that shit could be cut down.
So, got anything else?
Nah. That's all I got. For
Nintendo Metroid movie. Make it happen. Anyway, that's it from the Potluck where you get. See you next time.
Bye.
Tranquility Base here.